All right. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Brian.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be Carlos is joining too. I think it's going to be just a couple of us.
Okay. Well,
Carlos,
this is my
good
first
morning.
live one, so I'm excited.
Yeah. I hope we don't disappoint. How are things going so far?
Amazing. They're going great. I even went to the Canopy Expo the other day, so that was very informative
Oh,
and
nice.
fun.
Was that good?
Yeah. Yeah. It was Brittany, I think Brittany, yeah, Brittany Carson, she's on
Yeah.
our team. She went as well. So then me and her
Nice.
met up. So it was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
she's actually on my specific team.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Brittany's awesome. She is a ball of energy. I don't think anyone
Yeah.
smiles more than she does. I see you got it too.
Yeah, that's what she always say. High energy. Hey,
Yeah,
we have to do life anyway. We might as well do it with a smile.
you might
Might
as
as well do
well.
it.
I literally just texted her seconds before we got on here. Yeah, little Monday motivation for her. So she's got a couple of things in the pipe right now, so she's working it, trying to get her a few more listings. Good morning, Carlos. Good morning, Chris. How are you? See if they're gonna jump on video or not.
Okay.
All right. Carlos typically joins. He doesn't always chat, but he's been with us for a while. I think he'd actually just closed the deal last week or the week before, but he usually listens in. I believe Chris is a little bit newer with the company. I think he's been in real estate for probably about a year and done 3 or 4 transactions. So, but today we're going to be doing week 3, module 3, which is building our database. In your past, did you have any kind of sales database that you work with before?
Yes. So that's actually the question that I have about how to integrate the two. Like that initial conversation, like, hey, they already know me because the business I had was kind of a lot of face-to-face transactions. So they already know me, but I need to introduce like real estate to them.
Yeah,
and I don't want to be so salesy, like, hey, or come like have it come from or have it come from my real estate email. So I'm like, okay, do I integrate it into the new business, or do I just continue to use the old business and just send out an email to say, hey, if you guys are interested in real estate or you want to buy homes, I'm doing this as well, and here's the link.
Yeah, so I would, so that's actually literally what we're going to talk about today. So that's
okay, good. Yeah, right on time.
a perfect introduction. So let's see. Chris is heating up breakfast. Breakfast sounds good. All right. So building your database. Sounds like you already have some customers you want to bring over. So we'll go through that. Why is your database the foundation of your business? And it is. Sounds like you already know that. We're going to go through the kind of the different reasons that you want to stay on top of your database. Do you know what a CRM is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you use it. What have you used in the past?
So I haven't. Okay, so in the past, my other business was on. I have Shopify and Wix, but they kind of have like an email marketing thing that you can do yourself.
Like a little built-in CRM, like.
Yes, it's built. It was integrated into one place. So then, if I want to mass email blast, or if I think sometimes I used. I can't remember the text site, but it was a thing that would blast text messages as well. So with this one, I've kind of played around with the one that we have on ours on the Realty One.
Mm-hmm.
And I think last week we learned about drip campaigns and stuff like that and how to use those for our CRM. So I kind of have some knowledge, but I'm willing to learn anything.
Yeah, we'll go through it a little bit more. But no, that's good that you know, because a lot of people, then they come into real estate, they have no idea what a CRM is. And I literally just text Brittany. I was like, make sure you're spending 1 to 2 hours in your CRM every day. Like that's the biggest, that's how almost every day should start, right? Because that's where you're prospecting. That's where you're dealing with your current clients who are under contract. That's where you're dealing with your past clients or your referrals. Every part of your book of business, all your money is in your CRM.
Okay.
So, you know, making it a habit of spending several hours a day and being very organized and working that CRM is how top agents become top agents and stay top agents. And agents that don't ever log into the CRM, or they're not constantly putting new people in every single day, if not every week, you know, they're just not going to be quite as successful. I'm not a huge affirmation guy, but this one is I am happy, positive, and have a. Are you?
Yes, I make my children do affirmations before they get out of the car in the morning for school.
Like, what was one this morning?
It goes like, I am great, I am loved, I am smart, I am a straight A magnet, I am what I say I am successful. Like I make them set the tone for their day, so then whatever comes their way, they kind of already happy and can get off, because I can't be with them all day. So as long as
I love that.
Mind that they're great, then I feel good. And I do it myself too.
Yeah, no, I love that. I don't have any daily affirmations that I say to myself, but no, I love it. Whatever it takes people to be super positive and happy is amazing. So that's awesome. That's great that your kids do that. That you get them to do that. The importance of a database, steady stream of leads, and it becomes part of your legacy, right? So when you work your database for years and years and years, eventually it's just a well-oiled machine, and you can eventually hand that book of business down to your kids, or to someone else, or sell your business. But the biggest thing is you'll find is that it generates a steady stream of business. And most leads, when you put someone into your database, you know, a lot of times it's 6 to 12 months before they're nourished and they're ready to buy or sell, in our case, right? So you have to really nourish those leads. Oh, actually says that. It literally says that right here. A solid referral base, consistent and reliable revenue, and then just the fact that it takes 6 to 12 months. You know, the importance of CRM is obviously right now you don't have a lot of clients, right? So I mean, you could have 5 people that you call on your personal cell phone and text and email and keep up with it. But eventually you're going to be adding hopefully 20, 30, 40, 50 people a month, right? And a couple of months down the road, it would be impossible for you to go back and keep track of all those emails and those clients without having a CRM to have tasks in there to say, hey, you need to reach out to Debbie this week, or it's Mark's birthday and you sold him 6 months ago, send him a reminder. Like, it'd be impossible for you to do that as you go forward. So setting all that stuff up front is going to make you be very successful in the long run. And it is very easy to get behind. And I've done that too. When I get new leads coming in and I don't mark them right, and then trying to go back later once I have a couple hundred, it becomes very, very difficult. How many connections are you going to make? And we're going to see a chart here in a minute that is my favorite chart in all of real estate. What type of connections? You know, is it a referral? Is it somebody from church? Is it a past client? How much would those connections cost? You should have already done business planning. If not, then we should have a training for that coming up. Andrea normally does that. Have you done one yet?
I didn't do it with a company. I did it on my own.
Yeah, of course you did.
No, I just listen. I'm just trying to get ahead, so I did it.
No, that's good. That's good. And then tracking results. So everyone has different plans. For me, my goal is to set 2 appointments a week, right? I know if I can set 2 in-person appointments a week, I'm going to take a listing pretty much every week, and that's my goal, right? And you know, for most people, 1 a month would be phenomenal, right? But you know, I want to do more. Like I want to be meeting with people every single week, because I know in real estate, you can call, text, and email all you want, but the way that you do business is face to face, right? And me and you are very personable people. Like, we need to be in front of people, because when we get in front of somebody, you're going to sign my paperwork. I promise. You know, and that's what it's all about. So you have to be prepared to ask to set the appointment in person. Your CRM is your avenue to do that, and then you have to be the voice of reason and ask for that business. Say, hey, like, I want to come out and see you. I'm coming to your house tomorrow at 3:00. Does that work for you? But yeah, you got to track your results. You know, what's your goal every week, every month, and then stay consistent with that. Build it, feed it, nurture it, maintain it. You know, these are all things we're going to talk about today, but the most important thing for new agents is building it. Just putting new clients in every single time that you meet somebody, even if they're not a potential buyer right now, right? Every time that you come across somebody, you know, let them know that, hey, I'm going to just put you in my CRM. I know you're not buying a house right now, but in a year, 2 years, 5 years, something might come up, and I want you to have my information in case that happens. So this is a great chart. And this kind of goes where, are you able to see this okay?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, and I'll email this to you as well, so you have it. But this is a great chart, and this is where most people start at, right? So like most new agents, you know, not past clients, but friends and family is where the majority of your prospects are going to be right away, right? And that's the easiest way to start building your CRM is your cousins or your uncles or, you know, whoever it may be, and then your friends on Facebook or your friends in, you know, obviously real life. And those are the easiest ways for you to build that. For you, the past clients is your clients with your Shopify and your other things, right? So you already have a huge database, which is put you leaps and bounds of other new agents, right? Because you already have that you can reach out to. The question is, how do we reach out to them, right? Do we transition that from your current email, like you mentioned, or to your real estate, which you should do an introduction that introduces your real estate, right? And maybe that comes from your real estate, but also has your other email in it so they know it's you, and do an explanation. But this is huge for new agents, right? I can't tell you how many new agents go out there and they get licensed and, you know, they just sit there and don't do anything, but also none of their friends and family know that they do it, right? It's pointless if you're not sharing that information with them. And I know people don't like to hound their own friends and family, but who would your friends and family rather work with, you or some stranger, right? Wouldn't it be much easier to work with you? And then as you get more successful and as you get more experience, you know, you start doing other things, right? Social media, which you're going to be on top of, neighbors, church, community. And then this is the kind of stuff that you're, you know, cold calling, networking groups, websites, online ads, and farming. And we'll talk about farming, I think, be next week. But these are all things that is going to start working in and bring you consistent leads every month from outside of your personal sphere, right? So you want to work both angles. Honestly, I work a lot more of outside stuff than I do my personal sphere. I've just always been like that. I don't think it's a great thing that I do, but I mean, I'd probably get a lot more business if I work with my friends and family. I don't do nearly as much as I should, but almost all my stuff comes from this outside circle. But everyone does it a little bit different.
Hey, Brian, it's Carl's got a quick question.
Hey.
So I guess I'm more like that, the outside circle. So is it harder that way, or?
I don't think
really did much of that. A little that I have done has been mainly on the outside. So I'm just wondering, is it? I guess.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that's harder. I just always, when I started, I worked for another company and they provided all my appointments for me. So honestly, for the first couple of years I did real estate, none of my friends or family, some of my close family didn't even know I did real estate, right? Because they were handing me, you know, leads every day in person. I just ran those leads. So I didn't need any of this stuff. So when I left there, thank God, when I started doing it on my own, I just kind of went that same route. And that's just how I've been doing it. I started working on outside leads and cold calling, and doing my own stuff as opposed to doing more friends and family. Carlos, to answer your question, it's probably a little bit harder, the fact that I don't leverage my friends and family. And that is something that I am trying to work on. And I've gotten several deals this year already from it, just by focusing on more of my my business Facebook that I shared in my personal Facebook. So it's been working right away. So yeah, I think a good combination of both is good. I think if I didn't have my previous experience, there's no way I could have survived on just this if I didn't have all that experience. But yeah, I think in the long run, a good combination of both is probably going to where you need to be.
Gotcha.
So again, this is another kind of what we're talking about, like what type of leads and where they come from, right? So Charlene, you mentioned like mass emailing and stuff like that, right? You don't want to mass email the same email to the people from your church to the people that you get off of Facebook ads, right?
No.
So you want to make sure that when you're in your CRM, that you categorize by where you get the lead from, so you can quickly go in and create a list of everyone from Google Ads and send them one email, and then everyone from your past clients, send them another email, right? So you want to categorize that stuff right away in your CRM, because if you don't, again, once you get down the road and you start having hundreds and thousands of clients, it is hard. And I've made that mistake before. So as you go in, spend time in your CRM, making sure that you're putting them in the categories that you want to, so it's easier for you to get there. And it sounds like you already know how to get to the CRM.
Yes, but if you want to show me again, I'll see it. I'm not going to turn down any knowledge. I'm sure I know how to do it, but you can show me
Yeah,
again.
let me see. Stop sharing. All right, so you can see the screen right here.
Yes.
All right, so you're going to go to OneSuite. Is that how you're getting to it? Okay. So in OneSuite, when you click on that, when you do your one login, that's going to make me log in again. I don't need to do that because I'm already here. So once you go to OneSuite, I have different access, but that's going to bring you to this, right? So and here's a lot of different stuff. So your CRM is going to be right here, your contacts and leads, right? You have a ton of other stuff in here. Property search, you can edit your website, customize it how you want it to look. When you guys do open houses, and if you're interested in doing an open house, I've got a couple of people that are on my list already that are wanting to do one of my next open houses, but I'll put you on that list as well. But when you do an open house, you can go click right here. And then as people come in, they'll log in and those go straight into your CRM, right? Which is pretty cool. Drip campaign letters. There's also letters in there for a brand new agent that you would send out to your past clients, right? One University, which is phenomenal. There is so much training in there. I mean, if there's a topic that you don't know, or just we get done with this because this isn't a very high level CRM how to use it training today. But go in there and go through the CRM training. There's hours and hours and hours of how to be really good at it.
Okay.
Your one design. So all that stuff is right in here. But what we're talking about today is your contacts and leads. And then you'll see clients that are in your CRM as you put them in there. And then you can just click on one of their names, and this just has their name, email address, and phone number. I don't have a home address for this one. I don't have, her anniversary or birthday or that stuff. Ideally, you want to get more of that stuff. But this is going to keep track of all the emails that have been sent between me and Tracy, and all that good stuff. So over time, each one of your clients is going to have this. Each one of these leads is going to be completely filled out with a ton of information, right? And then maybe I just talked to Tracy this morning. I didn't, but this is I did. And she said, hey, you know what? I'm busy work this week. We're on vacation with my kids. Call me next week, right? So I'll go in here and create a task. And let's say call after vacation to do, put a date in there. And let's just say the 12th, 1 week from now, and then save it. So next week on the 12th, say again.
It's gonna set a reminder.
Yeah, so you're gonna have a task. So next Monday, I'm gonna get a reminder, hey, you need to call
Oh,
Tracy,
that's
and
awesome.
it's gonna give me this notification, right? So that kind of stuff is so huge, because you would believe me when I say I have sticky notes all over my desk, but I probably have 10 people I should have called already this morning before I got on the phone with you, and I don't, they're not all tasks. The stuff that are in my task, I do every single time, right?
Mhm.
Think about if you did this 10 times a week. If you just have tasks all week long of things to do, how much more organized you guys will be, right? And then calendar appointments, right? So you have a call scheduled. You completed the task this morning, and she said, hey, call me today at 4:00. All right, we'll put that on your calendar, right? And you can sync that calendar with your Google Calendar. When I set appointments, it goes straight to my Google Calendar. And if it's an in-person, I've got the address in there, so I can just click on my Google Calendar and it goes straight to my maps and my navigation, and boom, I'm on my way, right? And then just notes, right? So this is just notes. So from that task, had a great call, blah, blah, blah. And then you're just gonna type in there, exactly what happened. For me, the notes is, I think, the most important thing in the CRM, because you're not going to remember everything about them, right? So when I meet someone in person, it's rapport. And it's so much easier in person. But once you leave, it's harder to get that rapport back, right, over the phone, right? So think about, like, if I cold call Tracy after I went to her house a month ago, and she's like, hey, this is Brian, do you remember me? Versus, hey, Tracy, what's going on? Did your kid finish up his last semester at Clemson? Like, what's going on? Like, I know your car was broke down. Did you get that fixed? Like, if you have all those notes in there, that report comes back so fast. So, like, literally everything about them, how many kids do they have? What color are the walls? Like, why didn't they like the last agent? Like, I literally have pages and pages of notes in here. I read them before I call them. So when the time comes, I've got something that can remember. Oh yeah, I remember Brian. I liked him, right? As much time as you can spend in here, the better it's going to be for you guys. But creating tasks is a game changer, because if not, then you're going to forget. I mean, this thing about.
One more thing before you exit out of it. Oh, well, it's fine if you did.
No,
How
go
do
ahead.
we categorize? So like how you use the example of not emailing the church people the same as my company,
Right.
the old company.
So there's different ways to put tags in here. So I personally don't use the CRM. So I don't use the CRM, but there's different ways to tag them. So fire, cold calling, you can add different things in here, but there's a bunch of different ways that you can do it. There's different campaigns you can add them on, and we'll do a day where we do like your different campaigns. But you can tag them differently. And then you can also put them in different groups, which I haven't created because I don't use the CRM. Let me see.
So is using that CRM and the one on Matrix, like the MLS, is two totally different things?
Yeah, so the MLS is completely different.
So which
Yes.
one do you recommend I put
the one that we have in the one that I was just showing you is the one that I would recommend. The MLS is fine. The MLS is more for like setting them up on my drip campaigns, and you can do that within your CRM.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would recommend using that. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's a lot of high level training videos for the CRM in the one university that I showed you. And again, because I run a team, I use a different CRM called Follow Up Boss that I used in my past, and I really like it because it's easy for me to keep a track of. I text and do everything from it, so it's just easier for me to keep track of everything that way. But Sync, which is one that Follow Up Boss gives you, or not, the Road to One Group gives you, is a phenomenal CRM. I just don't personally use it.
Okay.
Feed your database daily. You don't want to email you people every day, but that's how you get blocked. But you should be messaging, depending on where you got the leads from, fairly regularly, almost weekly. For me, if I get a new lead that's a potential buyer, I do call, text, and email daily several times, especially the first couple of days, because if they're out on websites on Zillow looking for houses, they are about to buy a house, and I'm going to contact them as many times as I can or need to try to get a hold of them, because if not, they're going with the next agent, right? So depending on what kind of lead it is, maybe you touch them once a week, sometimes you touch them once a quarter. But if it's a brand new lead, you might touch them 8 times in the first week. Nurture your database, consistent message, branded messages, and then sending out bulk emails is good, but you always want to kind of make sure that it's kind of customized, especially if it's someone that or someone that a client that you've met with or you've been talking to, right? So sending them a bulk email that's very generic sometimes it's almost a slap in the face if you get an email like that, right?
Mhm.
Like if I sent you, like right now, if I sent you a bulk email, you'd be like, Brian, like you know me, like why you don't talk to me like that, right? These people are the same way, right? Like, how frustrating is it when you call Verizon or AT&T and you're talking to their AI bots and it's just like, you want to talk to someone live. It's the same way with the email. Like, these people want custom stuff. So that personal connection stuff it is huge. And the bulk email, there's nothing wrong with that for people that you haven't contacted yet. But as you get to know people, that personal stuff is absolutely huge. So an announcement letter, and I think this will be huge for your database that you have with Shopify and all your past clients. And there's announcement letters they're already created. You can also just do your own email, written up however you want to write it. But I would send out an introduction from your business email to each one of those people and say, hey, just want to let you know we've worked together in the past. This is my new real estate email. If you need anything, let me know. And just send out a nice letter of what you do, what areas that you work. Maybe even create in one design, like a flyer of what you do. There's a bunch of stuff in there, and I can help you do that as well. But that's what I would do. And then if you don't get a lot of feedback, or whether you do or not even understand that if you send that to 200 people, maybe 200 people don't even respond to it, right? They don't need to, but at least you got that out there, right? But you can always go back if they respond from your other email address, say, hey, just want to let you know that wasn't a fake email that I sent out last week. That's my new real estate email. I still have this one as well, but if you need anything real estate wise, I'm here for you. Feel free to reach out to me either way, right? So I would kind of space it out like that in your situation, just so people know. I know you're active on social media, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We kind of have to be.
But it's good. Like, as some of our top agents, like Ryan Palmer, he's constantly posting on social media with all his listings. He's commenting on stuff. He's liking stuff. The more that you do that, the more that your name gets out there. And it's good that your people that are seeing it. But when you're liking, commenting stuff, you're reaching thousands and thousands of other people that don't know you, and they're seeing that you do real estate as well. So spending time on social media is good. D is for delete. All right. Yeah, if you've got people that are frustrated with you emailing them, that are being super negative, delete them, right? You don't need those people in your CRM. However, if you get someone that says, hey, I'm not selling my house right now, leave me alone, that doesn't mean delete them. That means they're not selling their house right now. Maybe just don't reach out to them for a few months, right? So no doesn't mean delete. But if they're being nasty people, then yeah, get rid of those people. And early in my career, like, I would work with everyone, whether they're nasty or not. At this point in time, if they're gonna be a time suck and just bring me down, I'll let you go in a heartbeat. Go find another agent. I don't want to work with you. But I just want to make sure that you realize that deleting is not for everyone that just says no, because you're going to get a lot of no's, right? I mean, especially when you start getting leads in, and if you get 50 leads over 6 months, maybe 50 of them say no up front, right? But also understand that they're looking because they're going to buy or sell at some point, right? So maybe if you're just touching them once a month, and 5 months from now, 10 of those people are like, actually, now I want to sell. You've been reaching out to me diligently for the last 5 months. I'm going to go with you, right? So there's a fine line between no and delete the people.
Mhm.
This is actually what I sent out to my agents this morning. This is my favorite chart in all of real estate, and it is the biggest thing. And I'm sure Carlos can attest to this. Trisha can attest to this. I mean, this is huge. I mean, there's so many agents that 48% never follow up with a prospect. That is crazy. How are you going to have a prospect and never even follow up with them? This one is huge. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. That's low, right? So when you get a new lead, wherever you get your leads from, and you call one time and they don't answer, but that's fine, right? There's so many agents that will just never call, text, or email them again, right? This one down here is, I'm not going to read all these to you guys, but this one's huge. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact, right? That's a huge percentage, right? So if you call, text, email the first week that you get a lead and they don't respond, set up a task, call them the next week. They don't respond to that, email them the next week, then text them the next week, right? And then put them on a drip campaign. But giving up after 1 or 2 attempts it's a waste of your time and your money if you're spending money on it, right? I have leads that I've literally talked to 30, 40, 50 times, have never responded to one of my emails. And then after a year, hey, I'm going to sell my house. And I'm like, why have you never responded to me once? And they're like, I didn't need you, right? But because I was persistent, they end up using you. So I'd almost rather have a no response sometimes than someone be nasty and just say, because no, at least they're getting it. They're not blocking you. They know that you're there, right? So keep this on the back of your head when you guys are getting started out there. If you're not getting a ton of feedback, that's okay. But just have consistent messaging, like I said on the previous one, and just reach out to them. And call, text, and email, right? I use all 3 methods. Whatever one works the best once they finally do respond, and that's usually the way I keep hitting them up. But it should almost be like a game, right? Like how do I get this person to respond? What do I say to get them to respond? And it sounds crazy, but it's almost like a Tinder, right? Like you're just saying something different than every other person says, right? And get them to respond, right? Like, all right, they're not answering my phone calls. Let me text them. And if you're texting them like a robot, hi, this is Carlos. I do real estate with Realty One Group. Can I sell your, like, they're not going to answer, right? So I mean, you see my message, I'm like, hey, what's up, boss? Thanks for reaching out to me. I'm going to be in your area tomorrow at 2:00. I'd love to pop by and see the house, right? Like, it's just like a different tone. It's not like how every other agent is reaching out to them. And the response rate that I get from that is just through the roof, right? And then once you guys get out there in person, you can do the rest, but you have to get out there. So service the leads, follow up.
Send me that?
Say again?
Why? Could you send me that?
Yep, I will, for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Just get off. Convert the leads. Yeah, and this is kind of what we're just doing. Because again, and you mentioned this earlier, you don't want to come off super salesy to your whole database of people. More of a consultative approach. So maybe that's part of the email that you send, like, hey, like, I'm not going to blow you up with trying to sell or buy a house, but if you need information, let me know. What I'll be happy to do is send you on a monthly drip campaign that shows you how the market is in your area, right? And most people will be like, all right, cool, right? Let me know what the market's like in Concord every month, or in South Charlotte, or whatever area that they're in. And people will appreciate that, whether they're buying or not. Yeah, so this one's big, to keep clients informed. Just constantly giving them information is huge. And again, right in the CRM that we were just looking at, I mean, you have all those tools that are, the drip campaigns are already built out. Like you guys don't have to create all that stuff. We have all that stuff already done. You guys just have to send it out. And we do a good job as a company of creating that kind of stuff for you that you guys can just share. Obviously, as you guys start closing more and more deals, referrals should become a big part of your business, right? Like your first couple of years, you're gonna have to grind because you're not gonna have referrals, right? But as you start getting more and more business, make sure that you don't forget about the people that have got you where you are, right? On big holidays, on their anniversaries, their birthdays, on the anniversary of when you sold their house, right? It's a great time. Hey, remember 1 year ago, we were sitting at the attorney's office, got those keys. How's everything going? Like, hope the house is awesome. Let me know if you need anything. And if any of your friends or family are thinking about selling, let me know, right? So it's not even like, are you going to sell your house? Because you just bought it. But that kind of stuff gets a lot of feedback and people appreciate it. Getting your online presence. I do a decent amount on Facebook, a little bit of Instagram. I've attempted the TikTok. Your boy's not going to be on there dancing and doing stuff like that. But if I go to a nice listing, I might create a nice little TikTok or whatever. I've gotten leads from that, believe it or not. But I found that Facebook and Instagram is a really good source. So just being on those and being consistent between those three. And by consistent, I mean to be like whatever your headshot is or your logo, like having that the same on all your online medias and your email signatures. It's easier for people to remember who you are. Where if each one of your pictures is different, it's a little bit trickier because there's so many people on the internet, right? So having your logos and your headshots the same on all your business stuff is going to make it easier for people to recognize you. Do I need an online presence? Of course, everything's online these days. It's 2023. Like everything is online. I mean, the thing is when if you get a listing, obviously you're going to share, coming soon. And then, we're live on the market, under contract, then sold, right? There's so much stuff that you can post when you're on there. You can just from one deal, you can post 5 or 6 times from, right? And then, on the buyer side, every time you're going to show a house, take an outside picture or video of the outside and the inside and post it on your business story or your actual page. And just show people that you're constantly seeing houses. It's a good way to get that awareness out there.
Okay.
We've already kind of talked about this.
Brian, I do have one quick question about that.
Yeah.
So I know we had this conversation before. I think the last time we was in the office, far as just going to any kind of open house or any showing or listing and do a quick little video, that is okay?
Yeah, I mean, you can always do videos whether it's your open house or not, or you're showing or not, or whatever. Yeah, you can definitely post it. I mean, obviously you're not going to say that you sold that house, as long as you're not
Right.
saying that you're good, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I can walk up to my house and do a video like, look at this nice house or whatever. I mean, I don't say that it's my house or whatever, but
Right.
you just want to constantly be posting stuff. But yeah,
Well,
just popping into open houses like that. I've done that before. If there's a $2 million open house down the street, then I'll pop in and take a video. Like, look at this beautiful open house. Come out today in Cornelius and take a look. I'm not saying it's my open house. I'm not saying I'm selling the house or it's my client. But just constantly having that stuff on there it's a good look for you, because you're letting all your people know that you, again, mainly the point is you do real estate, not that you care about selling that specific house.
right.
Yeah.
Do you have to get permission? That's what I want to clear up. Do you
Yes,
have to
because I
get
need to know
permission?
that.
If you're sharing someone else's stuff on like Facebook or Instagram, like if I'm going to share one of Andrew's listings, I'm typically going to ask you like, hey, do you care if I share this? But yeah, typically if it's online already, if it's been shared online already, you can share it. But I'm always, if it's not mine, and I usually list enough that I can just do my own stuff. But if you're going to share someone else's, just ask that agent. And even if it's even with another company with Remax, say, hey, like, I love your house. Like, would you mind if I shared this on my Instagram and try to get some buyers? Because I try to get some buyers for it. It's going to get you some exposure. Almost every agent's going to say yes, and just give them credit in your comments, right? House listed by Remax with Will Smith, or whatever company with whatever the name is. But yeah, if it's not yours and you're going to share on your actual post, if it's just a story and you're just doing a video of an open house, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, when I'm going to like showings, I mean, they're not my listings. I'm just showing. I'm still taking videos of every showing I go to, and sharing it. If it's an actual post, then yeah, just ask for permission.
Okay.
Online lead platforms. In the beginning, I mean, there's so many ways you guys can get leads on your own. Obviously, kind of going back to this, right? Past clients, friends, family, and then the circles here before you guys have to start going and spending money. If you're going to spend money, which you don't have to. There's so many other ways of doing it. If you're going to do it, this is basically just saying, just be cautious. You guys are going to get so many calls and texts and emails about, hey, I'm the lead provider. I'll give you 6 listings a month and take 20%, and it's going to be amazing. A lot of that stuff is scams. It doesn't work. They're wanting money up front. So just be careful if you guys are going to do stuff like that. Through the one, let's go back to this. There's lead gen programs in here built in that's already set up, so you can go in here and you can spend, $200 or $500 a month on Google, and it's already set up, and it'll do Google ads for you, and it'll come right into your CRM. So there's already ways that we have built in for you that's done directly through and integrated already, right? So that's right here. I do this boost a lot, this one. So when I have a listing or something, I can boost that ad. And that's where you'll see most of these leads are actually HomeSpotter, that booster. That's where all these leads came from, for the most part, is HomeSpotter. So when I boost a lot of my ads, and it brings me leads that way. So there's a lot of ways, just from you getting business, you can get a lot more business from that. So yeah, so just be cautious on spending money on stuff that you don't have to, especially in the beginning. And then a kind of one habit is, at least 3 calls, 3 ads, meaning 3 new things, 3 new clients to your CRM, and then 6 notes. So do you do that daily? Do you do that weekly? That's up to you and your lifestyle right now. Do you have full-time jobs, or, can you do this every day? Obviously, the more often you're doing this one habit, the more successful you're going to be, right? But obviously we understand that, in the beginning, you guys have other things going on as well. But, today, I'm going to make at least probably 30 calls and hopefully add 30 and make 100 notes. So I've got a busy day ahead of me. I find that this is my money time. 9 to 11 is like when I'm blasting the phone, text, and emails, and I had the most success. And then I can leave my afternoon open up for running the appointments that I set from this morning from 9 to 11. So that's kind of how I set my day up. Some people are different. They want to run meetings in the morning and do all their calls in the afternoon and evening. So whatever works best for you. But just trying to get it. The more you guys are getting in a habit of setting time aside to market yourselves, the better you're going to be. So How was that for your first live?
Great. It was awesome.
Yeah, so not too long today. Does anyone have any other any questions or related to this or not related to this?
Nothing I can think of.
Congrats on you guys had a close last week, is that right?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's get you
Congratulations.
closing 3 or 4 a week
Yeah, that's the plan.
or a month. I mean, well, if you did 3 or 4 a week, that'd be incredible, but 3 or 4 a month is a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
Um,
Everybody can't be like you.
Right, hey, listen. Trisha, how's your continuing education going? Your post licensing? She's got her mic on or not? She might not. That's okay. All right. Well, if you guys don't need anything else, I'll see you next Monday. If you need me in the meantime, obviously you guys can call, text, or email me 7 days a week. So if you have something pop up before, then don't wait till Mondays. But if not, then I will see you guys next week.
Okay. Sounds
Later,
great. Have
guys.
a great day, guys.
Hey,
Later.
see you later, you too.